welcome back to my channel. It's me, Maggie. Today we're in my bedroom. I attempted to be spooky and then I realized my head blocks pretty much all of it, but that's okay. Today we are here to do a Morticia Addams makeup look, the Angelica Houston version, that's my favorite, and do a little story time on all the ghost encounters I've encountered in my 32 years of life, which is crazy to say out loud. We're gonna pin back the hair with my spooky season headband, which is spooky in itself because I have bangs for a reason. I look like an egghead without them. We're gonna start with the eyes. I picked a few options that I thought would be really affordable. There's the Cold Stone Fox palette from ColourPop. That'd be a really good one. There's this e.l.f. one in the shade Total Smoke Show, a lot of grays, as well as this Fantasy Makers from Wet n Wild. I've been using this a lot and honestly it works great on the eyes too. And then maybe a shimmer in another palette. So we're gonna probably do a mixture of those two. Oh, I see a little squirrel. He's got a big old nut. Black squirrel, you're so cute. We blocked out our eyelids and I set them down with a little powder. I'm actually gonna go ahead and take this white and just go ahead and pack it all over the lid because she a pale girl and I'm a pale girl. She a really pale girl. That'll do it being undead. What is everyone dressing up for Halloween as? I am not being Morticia Addams. I am being Tippi Hedren in The Birds. I even can wear it to work, which is cool. I never really had that opportunity before. I'm even wearing a blonde wig. If you'd like to see my Tippi Hedren The Birds transformation, I might just film it. It'll be after Halloween, but I still think it'll be really fun to watch. We're gonna just take the Fantasy Makers in that gray and just start with that on like a little angled brush. And we're using my Creature from the Black Lagoon Melt Cosmetics mirror because obviously. And we're just gonna, she's a really blown out crease, and then we're gonna start doing that and then I'll do the little story time. I'm actually gonna go in with a little of this too to really deepen it. Okay, I would say the first ghost encounter I ever experienced was when I was a youngling. Not that young, I think I was 19, 18 or 19, freshly graduated, and my best friend Alex, hi Alex, she was dog sitting for some friends of the family for 2 weeks. And this girl was scared. She was like, I don't want to do it alone. And I said, amen sister, say less. So I stayed with her for 2 weeks at this house. It worked out because where I worked, it was like 3 minutes from there. So it was honestly nicer than the 20 minutes to work every morning. I think they had boxers. I'm trying to remember what their dogs were. They were big dogs. They had, I think 2 or 3 of them. And then they also had 2 cats, but they told Alex, you will probably never see the cats. Just feed them and clean their litter box and whatnot, and you should be good. You will probably never see them. They're a little bit of a recluse. Probably because the dogs. Some cats just can't take it, which I understand. Dogs are a lot of energy. So we just got used to never seeing these pets. Quite instantly, I will say there was a vibe about the house. It was a nice house and very clean from what I remember. The vibes were weird. Like instantly, like it just felt a little unsettling. Maybe because we were so young, living together for 2 weeks by ourselves without our family. So maybe that's it. But now I know it wasn't it. It was the house. There obviously was something haunting it. And ooh, the first night, okay, so it was a combination of the wind outside and this tree hitting the thing. But for a while I didn't realize that's what it was that first night, and I was horrified. And then I realized that's what it was. So I was like, oh, it's not scary, it's nothing. And then I started hearing another noise. And it was just like, I don't even know how to describe it. It was like a low talking. And I was like, what the fuck is that? And almost instantly when I was hearing that, obviously my friend was hearing that because she came in and she's like, Maggie, can you sleep in this room with me? I'm hearing things and I'm scared. And I said, yes, because I'm also scared. So I drug my bed in there and we continued. That was the one, barely a night I slept alone we just spent this night in the rooms together because holy moly, that was scary. And I thought it was nothing. I thought, you know, maybe we're just hearing something. I don't know. You always give your, like, you're like, oh, I'm just literally crazy. It's not a ghost. Quickly, we just kept hearing things. And we also were playing pranks on each other of ghost things because we were already experiencing that. Probably not smart. It just probably scared us more. But anyways, she worked at a nursing home in the cafeteria, so her shifts were night most of the time, and so some nights I would be by myself there. And I remember this one night I was like, you know what, I'm gonna surprise her, and I'm gonna do the laundry. I'm gonna clean all her clothes because we had been building them up through that first week. And so I was like, oh, I'm gonna be so cute and go to the basement and do that. I remember distinctly letting the dogs out so they could go potty, and I went downstairs because I didn't want them to like come downstairs with me. They were a lot of energy from what I remember. And I had a lot of clothes to carry down the rickety stairs. And so I get down there, and almost instantly I look down the hallway, and there's one of the cats, a Snow White beautiful baby. And I was like, no sudden movements. I have to make this cat my best friend. Well, didn't really, short-lived, because almost instantly the power went out. And so imagine that. Darkness everywhere, couldn't see a damn thing. And I was like, that's weird. But you know, it was weirder what followed after. It literally sounded like 30 people were upstairs running and stomping. Like, no joke, it was clearly sounded like feet, like, and it wasn't like plumbing, it wasn't the power, but just because it went out, it literally was, it sounded like 100 people upstairs. And for a hot second, I was like, oh, it's the dogs. And then I was like, it's not the dogs, I just let them out. So all of a sudden the power turns back on. The cat, mind you, smartly had taken off. It sensed it, it heard it. It was like, I'm out of here. That was scary. In my state of shock, decided, you know what? We're just gonna still do it. I literally never put laundry in a mat washer so quick as I did that. And I just threw it in and I ran upstairs, and I immediately let the dogs back in because I was so scared. And I had to turn on fun music because I did not want to hear whatever noise was trying to contact this world. I texted my friend, and thankfully she was off soon, so I wasn't going to be alone too long. But I honestly sat outside for a while because I was so spooked. If you had heard the noises, it was not something you wanted to sit around in, that's for sure. Well, I told her about that, horrifying. We checked everywhere. There was no way no one was in the house, especially that many people. And that quickly we were like, oh my god, I cannot wait to not be at this house. Cut to the last day. We had kept hearing noises all week. Not fun, but thankfully we were like working a lot of it, so we weren't there like crazy amount, or if we did, we were together. The last day, you know, we were doing our due diligence and making sure the house was as clean, if not cleaner. I guess the owners, when they came back, that's my number one rule. I'm pretty much clean freak when I stay at other people's house, not so much my own. But anyways, we were doing that, and I looked over to the corner. I was in the kitchen, and I said, I see you, Alex. And there was like a door frame with no door, and I see a hand around the corner. And I'm like, Alex, I see you, stop. It's not like, you're not gonna scare me. I can see you, you know? Lame. All of a sudden, she comes walking around from the other corner, the other bathroom, and I was like, okay, I think it's time to go. It's really showing itself now. Like, it was clearly a little white hand, and it was definitely a woman. It looked like a woman's hand, so that's why I thought it was hers. Definitely was not her hand. That was probably the most scary. The basement was scarier, but seeing that wasn't fun. There's the shape. It's pretty blown out, pretty intense. But that's kind of how her look was. So that was the first one I experienced. The second, I must have a thing with seeing hands, because the second one was another hand. It was at my husband, well, at the time my boyfriend, but now my husband's parents' house. They were gone for, I think, a week or two in Jamaica or something, I don't remember, on vacation, so we were dog sitting for them, and I couldn't sleep, and I was like, I'm just gonna get up because I have to pee, and I know if I don't pee, I'm just gonna lay awake all night having to pee. So I get up and I go to open the door and I put my hand on the light switch. I don't know why I did that. I wasn't actually going to turn the light on. I just did it out of like habit. And lo and behold, a little hand, cold as ice, touched mine. And I was like immediately horrified. I woke up Derek out of his delirious sleep and he just went back to bed. He was like, it's probably nothing. The house is haunted. Goes back to sleep. The dog Cheech was completely spooked, so it wasn't just me. But this house had had history of this before. His mom, I think the lady that owned it for years, like almost the entire time, had died in it. And his mother, there was an attic and she was crawling up the attic one day. She'd always heard stuff and just like chalked it up to nothing. And she opened the attic and she went, she turned the light on. And the attic is like one of those creepy long ones. But all of a sudden she got like this really weird, scared feeling. And she was like, oof. All of a sudden, she said it felt like someone shoved her and she fell right off that ladder. So someone, a ghost, obviously, maybe it was this lady, is like, why are you changing my house? And shoved her right off that ladder. And I'm pretty sure she ended up having the house like blessed or something, or ran sage through it, because she's like, I was pretty scared. I mean, I've never had something where it like shoved, you know, was kind of violent. So obviously that house is also haunted. So they don't live there anymore. Their last house wasn't haunted, but it was haunted by a weird neighbor next door. So that's fun. That's the worst. Having a horrible neighbor, that's like something you really can't get rid of. Third ghost encounter. Maybe I should slow down. I haven't even finished my eyes. Well, I've been slowly just taking dark grays and different versions of grays and just kind of creating a nice smoky blend. I think I'm gonna go in with this shimmer on the lid. To me, it appeared she had like kind of like a taupey kind of shadow, and I think this palette honestly is perfect for her eyeshadow. Before I tell the other one, I will just keep working on my face. But yes, tell me below, are you dressing up for Halloween? I know some people think adults dressing up for Halloween is cringe, but adulthood is a scam and I didn't ask for that, so I'm gonna dress up still. I think that looks pretty good. I want a little bit more sheen, so I might try adding a little bit more. We're gonna go in this ColourPop Lust for Dust palette, shade here, Sunset Cove. It looks nice. Add a little bit more of that warm tone that I feel like she had on her eyes. I think that looks pretty good. I'm gonna actually add some more depth in here. I should add a little bit of black, but I am going to the gym later, so I don't want to look super insane. But while I do this, please chime in down below with your ghost stories if you've encountered spirits in this realm, because why they gotta be like that? Please don't scare me. I'm sorry you're dead, but I'm not, and you're freaking me out. But I still think about that basement one. That one, truly horrifying. Okay, we're going to apply some liner and I'll be right back. I'm back. I added on lashes and wings. Didn't think you needed to really see that. I'm gonna take that white from this palette. Super affordable at Walmart. My eyebrows are crusty and dry. I'm apologizing now. The curse of fall and winter. I'm gonna take some more of that white. Just feel like it needs, you really put the white here. I shouldn't do it right now because I still need to do my base. So we'll come back to that, but that looks good for now. For the skin, we are gonna do this Maybelline Lumi Matte, mainly just because it's really pale, but I'm just gonna add in this Pro White mixing stuff. She's ghostly white. Other ghost story. I feel like I should wait. I'm gonna wait until, I'll tell the last ghost story when I'm closer to being finished, because I didn't realize how quick I would tell them. But what are your Halloween traditions for spooky season? I would have loved to gone to a spook house or some fall festivals, but with dog sitting and like life just not allotting you the time, it just never happened. Maybe next year. Already watched Trick or Treat. I just watched a movie called Dangerous Animals. I think it's a good spooky movie for spooky season. I need to watch House on Haunted Hill. I love that movie. I'm gonna bring it down my neck because I may be pale, but I'm not that pale. My skin do be looking a little dry, but oh well. We're gonna take that white pigment in this and really set the face with it. Especially a lot under here because then it'll really brighten. I'm just gonna do the whole face with it because she's a pale girl. We're gonna use that same palette. She got some chiseled cheekbones. The gray, make sure I really buff it in because I don't want it to be too... Let's chisel the cheeks. I guess I could start the story. Okay, so as you know, maybe you don't know, I have 2 jobs. Actually, I feel like I have like 4 jobs to be honest. Between dog sitting, working at I've got a part-time job at like official place, and then I got like a retail job and dog sitting, so I feel like that's 3 or 4 with the design stuff. Anyways, I work at a movie theater part-time. I think I probably always will somewhere in some way because I just love the business. Part of your job is checking inventory on certain days, and I was doing just that. In the back room, sitting on the ground, and he has sensor lights, so if you're not moving for a while, it's gonna shut off, and it did. And that's not the part that was scary. I was pretty used to that. I had just came down and I was sitting in front of the theater that I had turned off. So the wall by the concession stock had a theater right there. It was quiet because I had turned it off, you know, nothing's happening. But the second those lights went off, I heard the most demonic noise I've ever heard in my entire life. It was like just as scary as that moment with the stomping upstairs, because it's like, you know, you did everything and you know it wasn't any of those other sources that could be doing it. Like the theater was off. We're gonna start with this. It's a eyeliner from e.l.f., the smoky coal eyeliner, but we're gonna use it on our lip. Help create a ombre. Anyways, demonic noise happens. Horrified Maggie sits there and I'm like, I get up, run into the other room, tell them we search, can't find anything. So that's gross. I'd always heard it was like maybe slightly haunted, and then I just started seeing stuff more. Like one night my friend was training someone else and I went to do trash, and I looked into the theater and I could see her pretty curly hair standing by this wall to the entrance to the concession spot. I was like, oh, they must have got done early. Come in, not there. I'm like, that's weird. So I go upstairs, I'm like, do you just downstairs? And they're like, no. So I'm pretty sure I just saw a curly haired ghost. Our old manager did die, quite unexpected, so a lot of the time I just tell myself it's Mike. He's just checking in. I'm using like the burgundy smoky liner too. These aren't lip liners, but mama gonna use them the way I want to. So we want a really contoured lip, a bright red. I'm gonna be using this Fancy Pansy Le Rouge from Givenchy. I actually gave one of these away on my, I think, 500 subscribers. I gave away one of these because I got sent a duplicate for free on accident. She's a nice bright bougie red. I feel like Morticia would have a bougie red lip, so felt like it was fitting, but you can obviously use whatever. I don't even think like this is bright enough. It is. I just think this is a fun costume for anyone. You probably have all of it, the stuff in your collection. Grays, brown, blacks, and a red lip. But yeah. Many of the ghost encounters. I hope I told them okay. Usually I tell them funnier, but I was pretty distracted. Very cute. I will say for Givenchy, this feels like plastic, y'all. Let's go in with this bright lip pencil. See if we can, oh yeah. Have you guys encountered ghosts? I'd say the most horrifying one was the basement. Didn't like being touched by that other one either. Or the demonic noises in the back room of the movie theater. Didn't love that. But there's Morticia, she's arrived. I think I did pretty good. I feel like I look cute. pretty easy to recreate. You really don't need a lot. You don't need a bougie lip. I just grabbed one. I walk around like this. Got my little black lace dress on. I hope you had a beautiful day or night wherever you are, and tell me your ghost stories below, and happy Halloween. Bye.